Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Courtney. Today I have got 5 all new fall garlands for you. They are easy to do, quick to do, so let's get into today's video. Diving into this first DIY, I'm going to be using that Hippo fabric transfer paper, and what I did is I went on to Creative Market, which my friend Shannon, the Daily DIYer, told me about, and I purchased some fall images. I've purchased from them before. My little intro card, all those little graphics are from there as well, and I just absolutely love this website. I just love supporting these little small businesses, and so I picked out some and I went ahead and printed it on the paper. Now, if you look at this, you're going to think, oh, it's kind of dull, but when you go and you press it with the heat, the colors become super vibrant. Now, the reason you see the black box around it is I was going to cut it out on my Cricut, but when I went to start to do that, I ran through and I did it one time and I forgot to switch the offset and get it just right. So I ended up cutting these out by hand, which wasn't that bad. I was watching a movie. It was all good. Once they were all cut out, I was ready to start working on my felt. For this garland, you're actually going to need some felt and fabric, so I made this free template printable. It will be linked down below. I just printed it out on cardstock so it would be a little bit sturdier, and I'm going to start with the felt triangle. I found this orange felt at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut, using my template, 5 triangles of the orange felt. Now that the felt is all cut out, I am going to work with my fabric. Now this is a cream fabric with little brown specks. I got it from Hobby Lobby. They actually still have it. And I'm going to go ahead and just use my little fabric template and go ahead and cut out 5 triangles out of the fabric. The fabric is all cut out, so now I'm ready to attach my little images that I printed out on the fabric transfer paper. So first I just heat up the fabric, and then using these little images, you've got to peel the back off. And like I said, the image is a little dull here, but once you press the heat, it will just make the colors really come alive and it looks really, really nice. This is just my Cricut mini press. People have asked, it's like a little mini vacuum, a little mini iron. You can pick those up at Target or Walmart, but I really do like this little mini press. And you press it for about 30 seconds. Make sure you've got that parchment paper down. Once it's kind of cool to the touch, you can peel it up and you'll have your images all attached. I am ready to go ahead and start attaching my fabric pieces to the felt. So to do that, I decided to use some of this fabric Mod Podge. It was the first time I've ever used it. And what I learned is the first piece I put on, I used a very light coat and it didn't really stick because honestly, I was just afraid it was gonna leak through and make a huge mess. But once I realized I kind of needed to pile it on, it worked out fine. So just make sure you're a little heavy-handed when you're attaching these together and you'll be good to go. For in between my felt pennants, I wanted to make some tassels. So this cream yarn came from Dollar Tree, and you guys have seen me make some tassels already this season. I just took a piece of cardboard. It's about 3 inches tall. I took my yarn and wrapped it around 20 times, and then did the typical thing to make the tassel. Tie it off at the top, cut the little bottoms, and then wrap your little piece around to get the little poof at the top of the tassel. To hang my felt triangles and my tassels, I wanted to do something a little different. So I took some more of that cream yarn and cut 6 pieces of the yarn, kind of a long length, and I'm just grouping 2 together, and I'm just going to go ahead and braid this all the way down, and then this will be what I attach my pieces to. And to get those attached for the felt, I simply just hot glued those directly to my cream colored little rope here. And then for the tassels, I just went ahead and tied them directly on in between my felt pieces, and then this garland was all finished. We're gonna start working with some pumpkins now. So these are just the mini little pumpkins. There you go. Mini little pumpkins, everybody. Mini pumpkins from Dollar Tree. And you can pick any color you want. It's totally up to you. This is a customizable piece, so definitely whatever your color scheme is will work. But for me, I had these, but the yellowish, I don't know, the color of them, it wasn't what I was going for. I wanted them to be a little bit lighter, so I went ahead and gave them a quick coat of some antique white paint by Folk Art. And then once those were all painted and drying, for the stems, I took some metallic bronze and painted the stems with that paint. Now I'm ready to go ahead and string up my garland. So taking some more of that cream yarn from Dollar Tree, I'm going to be stringing up 5 fall colored felt balls. Those came from Amazon. I will definitely link them down below. And then I'll do a pumpkin and then 5 more felt balls and then a pumpkin. I will say it was pretty easy to string these up. The only thing is when you're pushing that needle through the pumpkin, on the other side of the pumpkin, it kind of makes it pop out a little bit. You lose a little bit of the styrofoam, but the good news is it's smushed between felt balls, so you won't even notice. For this next garland, you're going to want to grab some fabric, lace, a ribbon, whatever your personal preference is. This is fabric that came from Hobby Lobby. It was all in their fall section, so I picked 3 different fabrics. I got about 3/8 of a yard, which was way too much. And then these 2 little lace spools also came from Hobby Lobby. So for this, you're going to want to cut some strips of your fabric and lace. So the fabric is going to be 1/2 inch wide by 3.5 inches long, and you want to just cut plenty of strips. And then for the lace, I just cut it to where it was 3.5 inches long. It's a little bit wider than the fabric, but that's okay. Again, we're going to be making a lighted garland, and so it's kind of a personal preference about how many different types of fabrics you put and how wide you actually make them. Here are the fairy lights that I will be using. It came in a 3-pack from Costco around Christmas time. Now, you may remember 2 years ago, I did make a Christmas version of this, but I used a regular Christmas light strand and then bigger pieces of fabric to kind of fill it in. But since I'm kind of into the whole mini vibe this season, I thought a mini fairy lighted garland would look really cute. So for this, originally I thought I was going to do some kind of pattern with the fabric, but then I decided to just randomly go in and tie the fabric on. I just did one quick little tie, and I started to just tie the pieces in until I felt like it was full enough between each of the little lights on the strand. I've tied fabric pieces between 2 lights, and I decided I wanted to add some of these little Dollar Tree pumpkins in. Now, I was trying to decide between these or some little velvet ones that I'd gotten from Hobby Lobby. Really, it's up to you. I tried a bunch of different ways about how to attach the pumpkin, where to attach the pumpkin, and ultimately what I decided on was to do a section of the tied fabric between 2 lights, and then the next one was going to be where the pumpkin was attached. And the easiest way I found to do that, because this fairy light strand actually has 2 wires, I opened up the 2 wires and wrapped it around the stem to get that pumpkin secured, and then tied a little bit of fabric on each side of the pumpkin, and then did another section full of fabric, and then the next section had a pumpkin, and so on and so on. For this garland, I created a printable. So what I did is I searched on Pinterest for some dictionary pages and I found the THANKFUL free printables. I will link that site down below, as well as the printable I created. And on each of those pages, I just put the coordinating letter. So the first thing I need to do is go ahead and trim these down. I did print them out on just some white cardstock. And once they got all trimmed down, I went ahead and marked the center on the bottom so that I could go ahead and make that little, I guess, triangle cutout on the bottom, because that is the look I was going for this garland. I grabbed this teal burlap that I had in my stash. It came from Hobby Lobby, and this is what I decided to attach my printables to. And so for this, I'm just going to go ahead and cut, I don't know, about a ½ inch, quarter of an inch around each of the printables so that there's a little bit of a border. And then to get these attached, I'm simply just going to hot glue my printables directly to the burlap. The last step here is just to go ahead and attach these pieces to the twine, which is what I used to hang it, and then I left a little bit of space between each one. Now, all I can say is you really do need to pay attention when you do this. Just stay tuned, you'll see why. Pay attention to how you hang this stuff. There you go, a little snafu there, but once I realized my mistake, I had to just cut the twine and then just reattached it, and I just made sure I actually paid attention this time to get this banner finished up. For this garland, I've grabbed a piece of twine and some wooden beads that I buy on Amazon, and I'm just going to string up a ton of beads. Honestly, I didn't count how many they were, but it was a lot. You can make it as long as you want to, but you just want to string up the same size bead until you get a length that you like for the garland. Once that's finished, I have these leaves that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm simply going to go in and attach a different leaf by folding over the stem onto the leaf and hot gluing it, and then putting 5 beads and then doing another leaf and then 5 beads and another leaf, and that's it. This garland is super simple, super fast to do, and has a great fall look. And there you go, 5 new garland ideas for you, along with these couple that you may have missed in previous videos. I'll make sure to link them down below. Let me know down below in the comments, what is your favorite fall apparel? Is it hats, scarves, sweaters? I would love to know. Here are some more videos you might enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!